Hey, black women. I had put up a video from Mocha Mystique, right? Where she had some really ignorant black dude talking trash. But this is the thing that I want to point out, right? Within his whole rant of hate for black women, when you listen to it, it should make you feel accomplished, right? In the sense that you're centering yourself, improving your life. Many black women actually understanding that the fact that this country is dumbing down everyone is not a good thing. It is something that they're doing that was spoke about in the many books that Dr. Claude Anderson wrote, in particular the one book, Powernomics, where it speaks about economy and society. Now, we all know that there's a big how can I put it, digital divide between white America and black America. And I'm only talking about us two groups because white America is not really concerned with any other type of so-called brown or people of color group, because they understand that those people are so brainwashed and so white assimilated that they pose no kind of threat to America. They will never challenge ownership or wealth or they won't challenge anything in America, because they actually believe that white people care about them and would never harm them because they're not black. So white America always has to worry, not has to, they choose to always worry about black America because of the legacy of slavery and the fact that we have proven to them time and time again throughout history. Up until recently, we've been falling off, but in the past, that if given a chance, we not only will pull ourselves up by those bootstraps, but we will take off running. So much so to the point where we will scare the shit out of them. And it resulted in them burning down our towns, putting the United States military against its own citizens and leveling some of the towns in different states throughout the history of our existence in this country. Okay. In saying that, that is why you currently see many jobs doing away with the fact that you no longer need a Bachelor of Arts degree to get many positions. They kill two birds with one stone by doing that. The first one is they don't have to pay you the actual salary that a person who actually has a degree would have to be paid to do that same job you're doing for less money. The second thing is it keeps the huge gap or money difference and wealth difference between white America and black America. Now, I saw earlier that on one of Pretty Black Magic's videos, where she had one where Al Sharpton was talking about the median income in New York City for a white family versus a black family. Now, I honestly don't know where they got those figures, because I guess they're only talking about black families that are extremely poor and who are in the projects or who are homeless, because most families in New York City, black, whether they're poor or not, make over $18,000, right? So I really don't understand where they're getting those numbers. Like I said, I don't know what demographic they're talking about, but me as one person who no longer has a husband, I make about 5 times that salary. So it's like, I don't understand who they're talking about. And even the jobs here, the lowest paying job to start with like a high school diploma and you really don't have any other is like 30 something, almost 40,000, right? So that's again twice the amount that they claim is supposed to be the family median. I don't know why. I take that back. I do know why. They're always trying to make it the worst case scenario when it comes to black people, is because they have to keep the prevailing belief, attitude, and treatment of anti-blackness in this country. Otherwise, people start to actually look at things factually for how they are, and they'll actually start to change things, which would not be in the favor of white people. So this dude that was doing all this talking tonight, right? And the reason I just went through that whole segment of what I just spoke about is showing you how that shit is really true. There is, in this country, becoming a serious gap between the haves and the have-nots. And although you have a lot of dumb people on YouTube preaching to people that you don't need an education to make it in this world, you could do well without an education, that is completely untrue. And it's so much so untrue that as this next new year comes up, you're going to see just how explosive AI is going to be in every fucking job in this goddamn country. So therefore, your education is going to be more important than it has ever fucking been. And on top of that, I noticed that they're trying to stress to black people like we're back in the when was Booker T. Washington alive? I don't even know. Like, I know it was 18 something, right? 18 something to like early 19th century something. He came out with this book, Up from Slavery, right? And he was constantly always fighting with W.E.B. Du Bois. And Du Bois felt like black people should be intelligent, own businesses, and do things like whites. But he also believed ignorantly that only 10% of us were actually talented and good enough to do that. So they all had their hang-ups. And then Booker T. Washington felt like all of us should be not very book smart, but very vocationally skilled, meaning we should know how to have a trade to live throughout life. True to a certain extent, but not the best always to have, only. So I bring those two dudes up because I see that push coming back in society again. Now, this is my take on it, right? Having a trade is a good thing, but it has to be a trade in the STEM field. And it also has to be a trade in what I call like a staple trade, like things that machines can't do, that only people could do and that are needed every day for everybody. Like, we need electricity. So if you want to take a trade where you know it's going to make money, and once you get your license, you can become a master electrician, or you own your own company, you get a contract with the government some type of way, and then you also have an apprenticeship and you can hire other people to work with you. And there's other things you could do, like become a journeyman, where you learn all other types of mechanics that use electricity, where you could really make good money in this society without killing yourself. Like, on my old channel, I had put up so many links to like STEM jobs, and half of that stuff I can't even remember now. I'd have to go back and like research all that shit again to put it up. But for all you guys that live in like states that have lots of train action, import, export, you need to look into engineering. You need to look into becoming motormen, the people that repair those locomotives, who also work on the tracks. A lot of that stuff, when you go on the websites of those companies who own those trains, they actually provide training. They hire people groups at a time. They don't care if you have experience or not. They bring you into the life. And then on top of that, you'll be making well over $100,000, right? And you'll have a skill that will be lifelong, right? A lot of those guys that work on those locomotives, they know that type of, they call it civil engineering. to the point where they could work in the trucking industry. They could also transfer it to airplanes, anything aeronautic. I don't know about boats. Boats may be a little bit different. However, the engineering is like shared knowledge, right? So when you have these people, you know, constantly coming at you, trying to tear you down. I'm talking about that black dude that was talking so recklessly on that video, but sounding like a fucking fool, right? I don't get insulted right away. I think about some of the things behind why these people say what they're saying. And then I think about the progress black women have made and all the progress we're going to make, because I don't know if you guys know who Lady Boulay is. And I don't really care for her because she had blocked me. And at one time she was coming off as a male worshiper, but now she's turned herself around, and you know, it's typical of the YouTube environment, because a lot of people are just on here doing whatever they have to do to get some money, views, and notoriety. But she made a point in a video she had put out today in regards to well, maybe not today, but she put it out, and it said her video was entitled "Who Needs Harvard When You Have a Brain," right? And this is kind of like what she and many people have said about the fact that they're taking away of, I don't really believe it, but I guess it goes in parts. But they're taking away of affirmative action was not really a big thing. And that if you have a brain, you're going to go to school and you're going to do well anyway, anywhere, and you're still going to come out and have a trade or a vocation or a profession that you're going to excel in. No doubt. Very true. But I hesitate to say that's all there is to it, especially when you think about how when they've taken away affirmative action 100%, and then there's this like domino effect of collapsing diversity inclusive programs. That's the only problem that I see that is an issue with losing affirmative action. However, you can still fight that as well by, when you start being hired, creating, and putting your resources behind already existing companies that are not doing as well as some of the great ones, then you open up, and now you're creating other avenues and other opportunities for employment for you and everybody else. So I would like to suggest to all of you, instead of like getting upset when these assholes come on and, you know, they're crying, bitching, moaning, and complaining about how they can't control black women and how they're losing us as their support, because they're really useless in life. Like, they're supposed to be males, but they can't even learn how or become men. So they really don't have anywhere to fit in this world. So they know that. And in turn, they take those frustrations out on us. But they can't take frustrations out on you if you don't deal with them. And if you don't frequent their channels, give a fuck about what they're saying, interact with them. Please stay out of relationships with them. There are way too many black women dying every day for dealing with them. Stop having children with them. Please stop marrying them. And for the love of God, stop giving a fuck about what they do with other women. Welcome it. Let her get her brains blown out. Let her get treated like shit, because you know that's who they are and they're never going to change, right? Black women need to stop willingly being participants to be used and abused by black males who mean you no good and who do not like you. I'm not going to go into it, but I just want to throw this out there. They are constantly trying to push out buttons to get a reaction, because a reaction means money. When people get your attention, they get your time, they get your money. People were making videos and commenting on the ignorance on the Zeus network. That is a really That is a low-level piece of shit network with no kind of decent programming on it. I never would watch it, nor would I pay to watch any of them shitty programs on there. So I did see Nick Cannon up to his same dumb shit, as he always is, trying to pit black women against each other and other women who really don't have any business worrying about anything black women are doing because they're not black. Like, you know how I feel. If you don't have a black mama, you're not black. Go ahead somewhere with that shit. I don't want to see no white woman's daughter just because the white woman fucked a black man thinking she's black, because she's not. Her mother is not black. She don't know the first fucking thing about being black. So go ahead, and we don't need those conversations to be had about colorism, because we know it exists. The way you end colorism is to not deal with people who have those behaviors. Let them stay together till they die out, and the rest of us could go on and act like we got some fucking sense. So, this is all the shit I think about when I hear all this dumb shit they say to black women about, oh, you're just a bitter bitch who's a breeder, and you kill our children and you fuck them up. Nobody gives a fuck about any of that. I know I don't, and you shouldn't either, because they're bums. And whenever you have a person who's a bum, who's completely useless, helpless, and hopeless in life, that is all they can do, is hurl insults. Because they can't hurl any positivity or any involvement or appreciation or any growth or help into society, because they don't fucking know how. So, I was listening to that, and at first, I wanted to say, yeah, this guy's a real... And then I started thinking, like, no, because he's going to forever stay in that position, while black women who, even if they are on the fence right now and they're still trying to deal with these fools, once they get punched in the face or something happens to them where they almost die, and God forbid they aren't hurt or killed, and they get away from these dudes, they will stop dealing with them eventually as well. And, as long as they want to deal with them, unfortunately, it will happen. I just hope that all the sisters make it out, because when you keep trying to give these assholes a chance, you're the one you're taking your life into your hands, fucking with them. And so when you stay away from them and don't give a fuck about what they're doing, period, you have a better chance in life. And it's what you should be doing, because we have a lot to worry about at one time. We have this country, which is the most important thing you should be worried about, where they see the influx of people coming into this country. And so therefore, in order for rich people to stay rich, white people to stay rich, they have to have you in a subservient role in society, where you go to work and everything that you do works to keep them rich. So this is why they need to dummy down all of us in society, so that we are not the doctors, the lawyers, the people who work in STEM, the computer people, the attorneys, and the people who have professions where they make a decent salary, right? A year and every month to live. And when you play into that ignorant shit, you allow them to keep taking the majority of the money out of society and leaving you more of a working poor situation than you were maybe about 2 or 3 before COVID. So all I want to do, y'all, is let y'all know that the more that you hear these assholes online talking shit about how fucked up black women are, and how we're bitter, we're killing children, we can't conquer nothing, we can't even conquer the black man, that's all gaslighting, it's projection, and it's also hate, just unadulterated hate. Because the reason they're upset that you're not able to be told what to do and do it willingly is definite proof of the fact that you're out here in this world conquering the hurdles that you need to do to survive in this society now, and what they're about to unleash on us coming in the new year. When I was talking about Lady Boulet's channel, I probably forgot to mention that when she was talking about the importance of having a brain, utilizing it and becoming educated so that whatever traps they put out into society, you can get over them, is the fact that she was talking about I think it was 4 women and 2 guys that actually graduated from, I think it was occupational therapy program, so that they would be the new therapists that are out here in the world making good money. I think those people start out like $90,000, almost $100,000. So all this type of stuff is things that Black women who are interested in making sure that they don't live in poverty, and they make some type of pathway or pave a road where their children, their daughters, see them and recognize that, look, you have to do more than the bare minimum and be out here struggling and having to need people to help you make ends meet. You don't want to do that, you know? You want to always put yourself in a position where you're going to have an education. You're going to get into a field where when you get up and go to work every day, you have something where, you know, when you get your check, it's going to reflect the amount of effort that you had to put into work, no matter what. And believe me, sometimes Black women, it doesn't come from like one check. Sometimes it comes from 2 checks or 3 checks, however you set your life up. As long as you're able to live good, take care of everything you need by yourself without somebody else's help, that's the goal. And frankly, I'm getting to the point where I don't give a fuck if they're on here talking shit about us. You know what? I think this is one thing I really believe that Cynthia G used to say, is that I think we need to really start ignoring all these people. I don't give a fuck who it is talking about us. Talk to your fucking jaw falls off and your tongue falls out and your teeth rot. Talk all you want, because I won't be there to listen. I won't be there to give a fuck about anything you're saying, because I'm going to be too busy doing what I need to do in life to make sure I'm good financially, and I'm living a good life where I'm nowhere near your broke, demented, out of fucking control, violent, homicidal ass. Don't worry about it. And I tell you that because when I say make sure you live well, it doesn't always have to come out of one check. Like me, I usually try to have 3 checks at one time, no matter what. I have a full-time job from the government, right? And then I have a part-time job and another part-time job, both online. People all those employers don't even have to know about each other unless you want them to. Because a lot of times when you do work remotely, they don't like you to have other jobs remotely, because they feel like you're not giving your all to the work that you have to do for them. But what they don't know won't fucking hurt them. But I know what? It'll benefit you in every way. Okay? And the only thing I can say to you Black women is that if you want a genuine, credible source to find remote work at home, this is where I got mine. There's this Asian woman on YouTube, Vivian, whatever the fuck her name is, but she has a YouTube channel, your BFF, your Wall Street girly, that lady. I have put her up time and time again on my community page. She honestly gives out good information. The second part-time job that I have remote came from one of the listings for credible remote work that she had posted. All right. The first one I got on my own a few years ago when I was doing, you know, UX writer and all that type of stuff, but tech writer and etc. But you know, that's neither here nor there. But if you need it, I'm telling you a credible source where you can go find it and get it. And then you don't have to always worry about, okay, how am I going to make up this additional amount of money that I need in my life that I can't get right now. Go on to her page, find those videos where she talks about credible work from home companies. There you go. And I think what I'm going to do is start looking on some of the state websites and do a video about more ways to find jobs and businesses and contracts with the state for black women, because it's not enough just to work hard and have an education. We should already know this from our entire history in this country. You always have to have a backup plan. A, B, C, D, the whole goddamn alphabet, because it is a true thing in this country that when they see black people progressing, they go out of their way to fucking knock you back down. So you got to have all types of irons in the fire so that when one is ripped out, you still got more to keep that stove going, you know? So it's just like you got to have more than one backup and more than one stream of income. And black women, ultimately, when you stick together, you can have roommates, make sure they're black women, you all are like-minded, and you got the same goal. The goal is us to stick together to make life as least affordable as possible, so that we could live life good, not worry about anything this world tries to throw at us, try to take jobs from us, try to take our housing from us, try to take our liberties from us. Stick together so that when it's time to pay them bills, you pay those bills without a problem, and you have money to save, money to invest, money to start a company. That is why you stick together, black women. Don't be online encouraging and falling into traps, worrying about dealing with males of any kind and worrying about relationships. Don't do it, please. Do yourself a favor, right? Find people who are like-minded. Begin a whole entire new life as a black woman. Start small home sharing situations with black women and other black women where you live together, you take care of your kids together, you work, you save your money, you travel. Join other groups on social media where black women are positive and you're doing things where you share information and all of y'all are learning and growing from each other. And that way, as all of this hate speech on the internet is swirling about us and how horrible we are and how we're this, that, and the other thing, you could look at it, listen to it, not listen to it, because I don't want you to be listening to it, but whenever it comes, past you and you get sight of it or you get wind of it, you just hear it, and then you're able to, be happy and assured in the fact that, yeah, they have to talk like this about us, because we're doing that much better in life and we're doing more things in life positively than we were doing before. And that's pretty much all you got to do to combat the ignorance that these dudes do. Like, let's be real. When I was listening to the video when he was trying to insult Mocha, and as I said, insult, he was trying, because he can insult. Because the fact of the matter is, all he was trying to do was project and trying to get across and gaslight black women into struggle love. Why would you have children with a bum who can't do anything for you but help you be poorer than you already are? And help your child live in a worse state and standard of living than you could give them on your own. You don't need a person to help you. You could do bad all by yourself. You don't need a person to help you do bad, right? Then, as far as this shit goes, with him talking about how we're just breeders and all this type of shit, sticks and stone, fuck you, nigga. Nobody cares about what you're talking about, You just jealous and you upset because you don't have the privilege of running through all these fine-ass fucking black women at your leisure the way that you used to. Now, they could sit around here and try to make it seem like white women, Hispanic women, and everybody mixed is oh, that's really what I want in life. When in actuality, you may be caught on a skin color and thinking that your racial inferiority complex because you black has got your mind all fucked up to the point where you make yourself believe that these motherfuckers are better than black women. But don't play with it. You know more than anybody as a black male. Ain't no woman out here better than a black woman. You don't gotta like us. You ain't gotta want us. But motherfucker, that's the reason why you got a problem with every fucking thing we do, and that we ain't slinging ass your way. You know it. You know that shit to be true. And that's why you lose your motherfucking mind when you see black women running to other types of men and everything else, because you know them men getting every motherfucking thing your ass ain't. And that no other woman out here can give. And you know that shit to be definitely true. That's why you tight. That's why you tight, and that's why you gonna stay tight, motherfucker. Okay? They're a bunch of bitch-made motherfuckers. They always complaining, bitching and moaning, and talking their ass into fucking oblivion. Because that's what's gonna happen. Because you sitting up here talking all this shit about black women who are the only people that can bring you into this motherfucking world. The only ones. I don't give a fuck how brown your children may be when you have them with Hispanic women. But guess what? She still ain't a black woman. So you still going to fade away. You're still going to go. And so these are all the things I think about when I hear all this dumb shit they're talking about. Because they're laughable. And I'm glad Mocha put that up. I'm glad she did. Because it lets women, like myself and others, who already know that, look, they're not worth the time of day, that we are good in where we stand and in how we think about who we are and how we should go forward in the future. And it gives women who are still caught up on mediocrity and thinking that possibly some stupid nigga could change and they could do better and be right and be the person they want them to be. It gives them insight to seeing that no matter what you do, my girl, they don't want to see you as anything but somebody they could use, abuse, call names, beat, and possibly kill. Because you are everything good and they're everything bad. And they've made it like that. It's not, you know, it's their reality. Because they don't want to get educated. They don't want to work. They don't want to compete the way real men do against others. They don't want to do any of the things that would actually give them a good life. So they have no choice but to have a bad life. And when they see black women striving and demanding and getting good lives and getting away from them, then they try to project and forecast to all of us as if we're all the same person when we're not a monolith. We're all individuals like every other fucking individual of the race of people or group of people they come from. And no, we're all not from the projects. And no, we're all not single mothers. And no, we all don't have children by deadbeat bum-ass motherfuckers who's begging for all of our attention on social media by calling us names, trying to insult us and dehumanize us because they have no contact with you. They have no, they don't have an option with you. So they're just fucking hurt. And that's it. They're just hurt. And they see that all that shit talking they were doing about black women on the internet has backfired to the point of no fucking return. And that small amount of dumbass black women who are still male worshiping and talking about how they still love a black man and king this and king that. You go ahead, girl, into that kingdom. You go ahead. Because we're going to be attending your fucking funeral. We're going to be sad singing and flower bringing for you. And you know what? As he's killing you, you make sure you remember that, you know, you love them gangs. And the rest of us going to be living our lives, doing our thing, shaking our head about, I don't know why she didn't just stay away from that motherfucker because she know he wasn't worth shit. And that's the reality. And that's all the things that play in my head and that I think about when I hear them trying to talk shit about black women and us making our choices to choose ourselves, to center ourselves, and to really understand that the only life we should be out here living is one that concerns us and only us for us, because these dudes don't care about anything. They don't want anything, but we do. And because we do, that's a problem. So you know what I said? Let it be the biggest problem known to man. Because as shit gets tougher, and it will, y'all, because January going to be here in a minute. They are going to try to unleash everything on us because they see the world changing. And these white people are going to try to hold on to their control any way they can. So this is the time now, black women, where all of those websites I put up in the last live that showed you how to get training and certificates for tech, you need to get your ass on that and get learning and get skilled up. Because very soon, every fucking job in America is going to have some level of high tech to it that you're going to have to be qualified to get. And as the amount of people in this country grow, the jobs are going to become, they'll have more jobs. But the pay is going to get lower and lower because they have that many more people to fill the need for the job. Like whatever the job is putting out into society, when you got a whole bunch of people to do that one job, you don't have to pay everybody a lot. I had told y'all, and I'm telling you now, you need to read the books by Dr. Claude Anderson. Powernomics is the main one. And then there's the other one. What is it? Black labor, white wealth, or vice versa. Just type in Dr. Claude Anderson. All his books will come up. Read everything that he's talking about. Because he speaks, everything he writes about is about economics. And how you can work your way into having a great economic support. To build a power structure of money and support for you. For you. Like when I say for you, like whoever you are in the community of black women, if it's you and you have 3 sisters, or you and a sister and a couple of cousins, or a few friends, if that's your power block, you learn to make your money where y'all all thrive. And then the next group of women, and the next group of women, and the next, and that's all you worry about, because you have to let it sink in. As black women, we only have each other to hold each other up, support each other, and be there for one another. We don't have anyone else. There are no such things as allies, although you can associate with anybody you want, and people could be kind to you all they want, but nobody is going to put their shit on the line for you. We know this, besides another black woman. And then there is no such thing as a black man, because he doesn't exist. You have nothing but black males running around everywhere who usually do nothing but kiss the ass of white patriarchy and go out of their way to keep supplying into white supremacy. Because anytime those motherfuckers make $2 more lunch money, they're always running and giving their money back to the white man. Oh, let me buy this house here, boss. Let me buy it here, boss, in your neighborhood. And they want to give the money to their women, marry their women, have children with them. So they're a lost cause. Don't have them. Stop having them. Do not give birth to them. Do not have children with them. Let those motherfuckers die out and be gone, okay? So that these white people don't have them to make money off of and to keep us further impoverished. Because when we black women, we work hard, we stick together, we take care of each other, it's hard for us to backslide into dumb shit and be stupid, and stay poor. But whenever you put one of them dumb motherfuckers in the mix, all the black women lose their fucking mind that want to be bothered with these niggas. And there's no focusing going on. None at all. And it's just anarchy of stupid shit left and right. And everybody slipping further and further into stupidity and poverty. You can avoid all of that by just eliminating them. Because once they're gone, you have one main focus. My future, my money, my safety, my stability, my power. That's it. It's it. Money, power, respect. Y'all remember that song? Even though everybody's hating P. Diddy right now, but that song was true to life. When you have money, power, respect in society, people do not feel like they could just disregard you, dismiss you, and minimize you the way they do right now. Because it just doesn't work that way. Because you will have something that will make them have to treat you another way. And see, that's all the stuff that black women are getting that these dudes don't have. These black dudes don't have, and they're never going to get it. And they're getting upset because they're so used to it being the way that it has been post-slavery forever, where they are pushed to the forefront as the shining stars, an example of what the black people and community are, when they're actually all levels of dysfunctional fucking retards. And then you have the black women who are supposed to be the front line and the fucking support and crash dummies for these ignorant motherfuckers who don't even know how to have respect for themselves, self-love, racial pride, or even know how to be men in a society or within their own communities. All they know how to do is terrorize, traumatize, tear shit up, and just break everything down around them, and breed nothing but hopelessness and helplessness and low self-esteem into the very women who they should be loving, worshiping, and protecting. I'm gonna stop saying that, not protecting, but providing for and allowing us to be the individuals we are, so that they could be whoever the fuck they're supposed to learn to be, and people could be adults, full-fledged adults, where they're functioning outside of fear and intimidation and all types of fuckery that these dudes bring into our lives. So since you don't have that, you got to think about getting these things, and the way you get it is through self-efficacy and elevation. You need the education, because the education is going to bring the money. Do not let all these distractions in society keep you, fucked up and torn down in poverty. They're doing all this stuff to play with you. This country does not want the poor people to come up out of being poor. So they pit us against, they pit the different groups against each other, and then they will give more to some and take away from others to keep you focused on fighting with each other instead of seeing what they're doing. And when you clearly see what they're doing, you can attack them right back. Like, if they're not giving you what you need, you don't give them what they need. Like right now, like I said, Democrats, they strongly want everybody to vote for them to put this old motherfucker back into office, right? I don't think you should, but y'all will do what you feel like doing, right? I think we need to get our own candidate, our own president for the people, and put that person into office and fuck both of those other people, all of those other people, right? And then we also need to start getting back together as black women and getting out here marching in the streets more, getting together to make huge voting blocks for certain candidates that are going to do right by poor people and stop spoon feeding everything in the fucking world to rich people, and make change where you live. Organize and get grassroots together for change, so you live better, so you're able to afford a home, you're able to start a business without all this nonsense. And we also have to get together so that we could start getting attorneys to fight back and get back some of the rights that these rich people have gone out of their way to have things taken from us. Just because things change don't mean they got to stay that way. When people are giving you trouble, that's when you turn it up and you fight the hardest to get what the fuck you want and what you need. And when they think they're not going to give it to you, you fight even fucking harder, and you don't give up until you get what you want or what you set out to do, because there are more of us than there are of them. Keep that always in mind, and you just keep pushing forward. Because if you do not play into their game, they do not win. And when they don't win, they don't get richer off of you. So you got to be smart. You can't be dumb. You got to not want to live in poverty. You got to want to stick together and do all the things that they try to throw at you to tear you apart. You're stronger together as a fist than a hand open with 5 fingers spread apart. You must stay together. That's the whole meaning of the symbolism of the fist in the air. We're stronger together than we are separated. Period. So, As you have this new year coming, and they're going to start dummying down the jobs so that they can pay you less than what the job is actually worth. Okay, cool. All right, no problem. So, you know, my rent, just making up shit now. My rent is $3,000. Okay, I got a decent sized place to stay. I'm going to bring in a sister. Her and her kids, and we'll work that shit out. And we're going to split them bills. We're going to do what we got to do the way we used to do. Okay? And we're going to get through everything. And for sisters who have businesses, share their information with all the rest of us so that we can start buying their stuff, supporting them, and patronizing them to the point of making them able to expand their business so that they could hire more people. And we could circulate the dollar within our own black community more than one time so that we retain some wealth. These are all the things that you could do that nobody could stop you from doing. Nobody. If you know a black woman that sells something, you buy it from her no matter what the fucking price. No matter what. And stop that dumb shit about saying crabs in a barrel, because yet again, I'm explaining to you, that is a creation of white people's definition of crabs in a barrel. The nature of the crab is not to keep somebody from another crab member from getting something they won't get. They're not people, they're animals. They hold on to each other as a form of protection. That is their way of protecting themselves that nature gave them. Not some idiotic dumb shit that white people created to make you never trust your fellow black person and feel like you're not supposed to support and come together with that black person because they have ran into your fucking head so hard. Oh, you don't want to be a crab in a barrel. No, that's exactly what the fuck you want to be. Because if you ever notice, like, when you go to get a crab out of a barrel, they all lock onto each other to hold on to each other to protect each other. And sometimes the grip is so fucking tight that when you pull one up, you got like 4 or 5 or 6 of them hanging on to the one you're trying to take away. That is unity, baby. That ain't that bullshit they've been teaching you that has sunk into your head so deep that you can't and refuse to let go of. That is fucking unity. Nature's way of showing you what the fuck unity is. When somebody tries to take one of yours away, you hold on to that motherfucker and you don't let them go. Y'all gotta start to learn to unteach yourself the dumb shit you have been taught about your blackness, your relationship with other black women, and being a black woman. And you will get further that way. Believe me when I tell you. And when you begin to do that for real, you stop worrying about these fucking fool ass dudes out here that mean you no good and who are putting you in the fucking grave every 4 to 5 hours of the day, and who are snatching up our little girls and doing horrific fucking things to them that all the rest of the world wants to hold a fucking blind eye to. Come on, black women, you got it in you to do what you need to do. You just got to turn that motherfucker on and get to work. Like, that's all I wanted to say, because that's all the shit that was running through my mind, and as scrambled as it was as I brought it out. You're fabulous. You're great. You're wonderful. And you have so much fucking potential that is untapped. And once you start toning down that fucking ignorance and that need to be entertained and that need to be involved in drama and need to hate and want to have an issue with somebody and cause shit for somebody just for the moment, you start turning that down and eventually get to the point where you throw all that shit away, you will be so fucking unstoppable, it will not even be funny. And believe me, they already know that about you, which is why they allow all that bullshit to be on YouTube the way it is, to try to tear you down and to kill your self-esteem, because they know if you were given all of the encouragement, the love and the support that white bitches get and everybody else, you would be fucking unstoppable. So they gotta go above and fucking beyond to tear you down, because they know you are fucking truly unstoppable. You're God-given to this earth, universe-given. And as soon as you tap into that shit, you're gonna be beautiful. Like, seriously beautiful. You just got to do it. It ain't even about believing it. You just got to do it. You just got to say, you know what? I think I'm going to give this Black women sisterhood and unity a chance. I think I'm going to start being my sister's keeper and doing what the fuck I'm supposed to do in life. And you'd be surprised how life will give you good karma and change things around for you for the better just by doing the right fucking thing by people who look exactly like you. There's no other way around it. You got the whole world coming at you. So the only way you fight back and you win is to come together with all of those who are exactly like you. And you just, it's been proven through military throughout the history of this world. You could take a small amount of soldiers and bust a wedge through the biggest amount of opponents just by sticking together and everybody pushing the same way. It's called the wedge for a reason. They do it in all military and paramilitary, everywhere you go. And it works every single time. You go bust a hole into anything by a wedge of strong people against a force, an unstoppable force anywhere in this fucking world. You got to think. You could do it mentally. You could do it physically. You could do it. You can do it financially. You could do it. You just got to start doing it. All right, so that's all that came to my mind listening to that video. Listen, y'all go watch that video. I put it up on my community page. It needs to be heard. It needs to be heard. And when you're listening to it, really listen good. Don't get emotional, right? Stop. Because I was that emotional at first, then I stopped. And I started really listening. Listen to all of the stupidity that is behind the words. All of the envy, the jealousy, the ignorance, the hate. Listen to all that shit behind the words. Listen to all of the self-pity, the self-hate. It's all behind those words. Like this, I envisioned a loser sitting somewhere in a fairly dark space talking shit into a microphone with probably the filthiest room and the filthiest person and most disgusting looking person, because the way he speaks is exactly how he feels about himself and the fucking world. A loser going nowhere. Zero. No substance. Not worth anything. Unfortunately, taking up time and space in our beautiful world. All right, y'all have a good night. And really think about what I'm saying to you. Fuck being angry and getting all emotional with the back and forth with these motherfuckers. Forget them. Let them talk into the fucking wind or at each other. And we just keep on going like we don't hear them motherfuckers. Because that's exactly what they deserve. Believe me, they do. And Mocha was good. She was good for putting that out and not saying anything back to him. You know, it really shows just how low functioning this person is, and that he really should have stayed in school and really done something in his life. Because I can guarantee he is nobody in life. Probably doesn't even have a job or a high school diploma. That's how low level that fool is. Good night, black women.